Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. I hope everybody's keeping themselves safe and well. And the only thing I've got to do today is repot this Cattleya. I did it a few months ago, but it wants doing again. There's a lot of dead roots in there. The bark wants to be a little bit bigger. So what I've done, I've taken one of these pots. You know, these plastic pots you can get for pond plants, and they should be available now at this time of year. And I've cut all the strips out of the plant, and I'm left with this, which that should do very nicely for Cattleyas, I think. Put some nice bark in there so it won't fall through the holes, and that'll be fine. But what I've got to do now is trim this one up. Start by chopping some of these roots off, and then later we'll take this off. And I don't know what I'm going to do really, but I'll come up with something. But as long as you leave at least 3 or 4 good pseudobulbs on, you'll be fine. But the thing to do now is to get rid of these dead roots. I've got rid of some already, but I'll get rid of some more while I'm at it. See, that's black at the end. Snip it and it's green. That's green as well. They're all green, they're just ready to come into growth. That's what's up with them. Just snip them back. You see, I thought all these were dead ones, but I'm snipping them at the ends, and they're actually green when you come up to there. That's black. That's black. Now it's green. That's green. That's a growing tip on it. It's just coming into. Right. So it's not as bad as I thought, that one. Got a heck of a rootstock here that wants cutting off. I don't think that's any good. It's not doing any good to anything. It's just the end of the rhizome. So we'll have that off. And you've got to take this drastic action, or you finish up with a plant that's not worth having. It's all over the place. And there's nothing nicer than a Cattleya showing a beautiful flower and beautiful foliage. Nothing nicer. You can put your paths and your frags into that category as well. But it's just a shame that Cattleyas are so unruly plants. Snip away. Right. That one isn't good. If you can see there, it's all been eaten away by something, and that's at the end of the rhizome as well, so we'll whip that off as well. Ooh. That's it, that's those 2 off. Where I've nipped it off it shows, so I'll put a bit of dragon's blood on there. But people are sick of me talking about dragon's blood, but it's absolutely fantastic stuff. Not easy to come by the correct stuff. I think there's a lot of substitutes for it, but if you can get the proper stuff, it's absolutely wonderful. You'll not be trouble with rot anymore. Right, we're still snipping away at these black ends till we get to. Well, that's a bad one. Where's that come from? There. And I'll need to thread that through. Oh, that's taken a lot off. I've got the wrong one. Never mind. Do grow some more roots. That's what they do. You should trim these roots all the time. You know, what I fancy doing now is pulling them out like that and just cutting straight across. And that won't do the plant any harm. It will sort of, I think it'll kick it into new growth. So we keep snipping away until we get it where we want it. So we'll just get it like that and nip it straight across. There we are. I've trimmed them all up. Oh, there's one there. Oh, that's right. Now, should I take that one off? Or should I take that one off? I don't know. I don't know what to take off. I think I'll take that one off. It's got no top on it and it's been beaten, it's been eaten at the end. So we'll have that off. So that's all I'm going to do to it. And I'm going to get some dragon's blood now and put it on the places where I've snipped through the, not the rhizome, the bottom of the pseudobulb. Well, the heat has just kicked in. I've got the dragon's blood now. And is that a scale there? No. Right, where have I nicked it? Here we are. And drop on there. Here we are here as well. 2, 3. I think that's it. And they'll seal up very nicely. With no trouble what's at all. That dragon's blood will stop. Now I need to fasten it up, don't I? Like that. But I'll get rid of all this rubbish first and then we'll wire that one up. Right, I've got a piece of wire now and they all won't pull in together. I keep seeing little bits of things. I wonder if it is a starter scale. I don't think so, but I'm going to give it a good spray afterwards. Anyhow, I'll take this round here. I don't think this piece is going to be long enough. And we'll take it round this one. I've done this before, you know, but you should all be used to it by now. Bit fiddly, but you do get used to it. Let's pull them together, and then it needs to just go around that one. I mean, you don't need to do it with wire, you can do it with string, you can do it with anything you want, anything soft that doesn't cut into the pseudobulb. I mean, you've only to leave this on for a month or so, 6 weeks, and then you can take the wires off and the plant will be straight up. You can see how much that's pulled in already. So I'll have to do this one again, the original one. And this not only makes the plant look tidier, it gives you more room on the bench. There we are. Now I think that looks much tidier, and we can put it in this pot like that, with the new growth going upwards, and then eventually that will come in and go up straight. Yep, I'm happy with that. So we'll get some large bark. That's a bit too small for what I'm putting it into. So we'll save that, and let's get some large bark. It's large orchiata bark. Right, we've got the large orchiata bark, so we'll put some in. I've sorted it. Look at this sort of stuff you get into it now. You get loads of rubbish in. Pieces of wood. You know, it's nothing to do with orchiata. Things aren't as good as they used to be. Right, anyhow, we'll give over grumbling, Eddie, and get on with it. Well, I think this is going to make sure that the plant's got enough air. It'll take a nice good watering and dry out quickly. I don't tap it too much, it'll all fall out. Will eventually, when the roots get growing, hold everything in place. But until then, we've got to just place them in the right place, if you know what I mean. So that it holds it firmly. I mean, I've seen videos on YouTube from very well-known people potting Cattleyas up, and they pot them in sphagnum moss and press it down with all their might. Press, press, press down to make it so tight, you know. So there's more than one way of doing it, but you'll find out with sphagnum moss after 18 months, 2 years, it'll start going downhill, and you'll have a lot of dead roots. Cattleyas, blooming heck, I've said it right, Cattleyas being epiphytic growing trees. So you've got to try and make things very similar. There's another piece of wood there, and there. Make things very comfortable for them. So I think that is going to be very, very comfortable in there. And it looks a lot better than it did before, because it was all over the place. And yep, that's ready for a good watering. Actually, it is watering Cattleya Day today, so I'll do that as well. Well, for watering the Cattleyas, I've got a bucket full of oil water here, and it's been standing this for since yesterday. So it might have gone up a little bit. So the TDS is just give it a good shake. It's 4, so that's fine. I've put some warm water in, so the temperature is 25.5, and it says the pH, it says, is 8.37, but I know it's not that. It's not that. I mean, your RO water, when it comes out of the unit, is virtually 6.87, but the more air that gets into the RO water, your pH will drop round to about 5.5. I mean, I'm stirring this round now, and it's dropped down to 7.2. It will eventually drop down to 7, something like that. So we'll leave that at that. We'll have a look at that later. Right, seeing as I'm starting a new period of doing things differently in the greenhouse, I've got some of this rain mix that's especially made for mixing with rain or RO water. So this is what Reg uses. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put 2 spoonfuls of this in and see what it brings the TDS up to. Now you've got to be very careful with this stuff, because it soon absorbs all the moisture and turns into a liquid. So I'll just put 2 of these things in. 1. 2. Close it up to make sure no moisture gets in. I might have to use some more in a bit. It all depends what the reading is. So let's see, where's me jug? Here we are. So give it a rinse round. I mean, Cattleyas are quite heavy feeders, so I might have to put some more in. So let's have a look at the TDS. $1.90. Yeah, I'm going to put another spoonful of that stuff in to bring it up to about between 250 and 300 for the Cattleyas, and I'm going to do this on every feed. So that's that one, and the pH is, this should have dropped quite considerably. I mean, I've only just put it in. It could take 30 minutes or something like that to give you the correct reading, but it's down at what, 6.8. Yeah, so that'll be fine, not to worry about it. So that's what I'm going to feed the Cattleyas on today. Well, I've put another capful of feed in, and it's now at the TDS is at 261, and the pH has now dropped to 6.38. So that'll do nicely. So we'll start giving them the weekly water. This is the one I've just potted up. In this big bark, it might need watering twice a week, this one. It depends what the weather's like outside and how warm this greenhouse gets. I mean, I'm not quite into turning the heater up to 20, 25 or anything like that. because it would cost you a fortune. But I mean, like today, it's only sort of 6 degrees outside, so I've turned the heater up to about 15 just while I'm in it. Right, that's that one. Here's the golf green, doing very nicely. In fact, I think this needs to go in a more open basket, because some of these roots are now getting trapped. So it'll be interesting to see how they go on with this rain mix. I'll put them down there because if I put them back on top, they'll just be dripping onto all the other plants. But this is what I'll do. I'll just give them a good water and get all the roots turning up a little, you know, the greenish colour when they absorb the water, and then we'll leave that for another week. We'll just do another one, which is the growing very nicely. This one, the King of Taiwan. In fact, I'll just immerse this inside. Immerse, not emerge. Make sure it gets a good watering. You can see it's, can you see it there? It's got a nice reddish coloured leaf as well. That's with a little bit too much light, but it's not doing it any harm. Well, I've finished watering the Cattleyas now, and I've hung some up. Use these small hooks, and I've hung a lot up there, so they probably get a little bit more light and a little bit more heat. So we'll just see how it goes on. And at the moment I'm just soaking my Arangis. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you to all my subscribers, and if you want to subscribe, I would appreciate it. So thank you very much again for watching, and keep safe and stay well, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.